Entitled Roommate Tries to Make Friends Personal Struggles Attempt About Her. A little bit of backstory. Back when I was 19, my girlfriend and I were looking for a place to live outside of my grandma's house, and a really close friend of mine who was going to Expressions Art School for video game design told us one of his D&D buddies and his wife were looking for someone to move in with them. It seemed like a great situation, and after a few meetings, we all decided to move in together. Problems arose pretty quickly, but we're only going to focus on one in particular. The close friend I mentioned earlier was going through a pretty dark period and was considering personal struggles. He was away from home and just couldn't figure out where his life was going, and it wasn't that he hated life per se, it was more that he just couldn't focus on or foresee a happy future. It all came crashing down on him one day, and he called us, drunk and crying, and asked for help. My girlfriend and I leapt into action. We told our new roommate and his wife, who we'll just call EB, entitled bitch, and AD, apathetic dick, what was happening and that we were going out to check on him. EB suddenly demands for us to take them with us, but states she wanted to drive in her own car. My friend wasn't super close to EB, so I wasn't sure how comfortable he would be with this, plus I knew EB well enough at this point to know she would try to make this about her somehow. But my best friend was currently drunk on his floor and I didn't have time to argue with her. It was a 25-minute drive and his college was in the city where parking was horrible even on the best of days, so I reluctantly agreed. As I clambered into my girlfriend's car, EB cheerily demands we all stop to eat first as though this was some sort of fun outing, and I angrily retort that if she wanted to stop she could, but my girlfriend and I were going on ahead. EB seemed annoyed but agreed to go immediately. We drive there as fast as we could, but since this was AD's school, he had the advantage to knowing some shortcuts, and by the time we arrive, EB suddenly skids into the only available parking spot and rushes to try to get there before me and my girlfriend do, glancing behind her to make sure she was there first. I was fuming at this point. As I said before, EB wasn't close to my friend, so I was furious that she was trying to take charge here and made sure to call my friend's roommates not to let her in until we got there. It took us another 5 minutes to find a parking spot, and when I finally get inside the apartment, I pick my friend off the floor and my girlfriend, and I spent the next hour or so talking him down, while EB sort of hovered on the sidelines like an overzealous bat, trying to put in her 2 cents. When he was starting to feel a bit better, I offered to have him stay at our place and he gratefully agreed, and on EB's insistence, we all stopped to get some Burger King and then made our way back to the house. That's when everything really got out of hand. My friend, my girlfriend, and I made it back first, and we were just getting started on dinner when EB strode dramatically into the house with AD trudging apathetically behind her carrying several bags of food, and she began, EB to my friend, why would you want to die? My friend, at a complete loss for words, glancing at me for help me, EB, that is hardly an appropriate question and I don't think he wants to talk about it, please EB, you know, I understand how hard life can be, I'm a nurse you see. She wasn't. She used to volunteer part-time at a children's hospital and was just making jewelry at the time, so I'll make you an offer. Me, a little louder this time, EB, please stop, my friend doesn't know you very well and you're EB. A while back ago I had a friend who wanted to die, so I told her that I would be there with her if she wanted. I would help her administer the pills and hold her while she dies, and I'm willing to do that for you. My friend, my girlfriend, AD, noisily munching on a cheeseburger and watching like this is a soap opera me, EB, that is not okay. EB, finally turns to me, I'm just being a good friend, if you really cared about him, you would offer the same thing. She went on to start talking about her own struggle with personal struggles and even tried to downplay what my friend was going through. I was at a complete loss for words. I couldn't believe that someone could be so narcissistic, conceited, and entitled to actually believe that this was appropriate behavior. I couldn't believe she was trying to make this about her. I apologized to my friend and we drove him home early this next morning. Needless to say, we ended up moving out shortly after that.